So I remember one night I was in ICU and I woke up in a panic, just an absolute panic. And I couldn't reach my button. I don't know if I had my hands tied or I don't know why, but I know I started screaming for the nurse. And she comes in there and wants to know what's wrong. And I kept on saying, 3 a.m. fire alarm, but no fire. I just kept saying it over and over. I made her actually go get pencil and paper. I said, this is important. I want you to go get something to write on, because you gotta write this down. Just kept saying 3 a.m. fire alarm, but no fire. So, finally, she said, do you think there's a fire? And I said, I don't know. I said, call my wife. She know what to do. And he says, I can't call your wife, it's in the middle of the night. I said, no, you call her. No, I can't call her now.
Oh, she's awake.
And I said, you call her. She know what to
It's funny.
do. And she called him, called Sue, counselor. And shortly after that, he had a smoke alarms
Go off.
when the battery gets packed.
Yeah,
It's going
Like it
off
go off,
yeah.
it went off the house.
at the same
That
time.
same night. Yeah. Don't know what to make of that.
Right.
It was pretty weird.
Yeah, and then he said something, he told me to pay attention, and I said I was, he says, well, I haven't met God yet, and I says, you're not gonna meet God till you get home, then you'll meet him.
But the other one is, it was so bizarre to me that I've told very few people. But, and I don't know if it was a dream or if it's something else. Because, you know, all the dreams I've had in my life, I can't remember any of them more than a few minutes.
Right.
This has been probably 2 years ago. Yeah, it's been 2 years or more. And I remember like it was 5 minutes ago. But, anyway, I was in ICU, and this is right after I got there, pretty soon after I got there. And what actually caused my whole problem is I had shockwave lithotripsy.
Have what?
Shockwave lithotripsy, you know, to bust up a kidney stone.
Oh.
Simple process, had it many times. And then 2 days later, I started running a fever. So they told me to go to the hospital. First thing they do is they do a chest x-ray. Well, I've got a pulmonary embolism. So the next thing they do is start giving me heparin. So then that causes my kidney to start bleeding. And there's this huge hematoma. And so when I was in intensive care, I don't remember why again, but I remember hollering for the nurse because I couldn't get to my buzzer. And she'd come in there. The next thing I knew, the room was full of people. And I know one of them was a doctor, and we kept calling him doctor. And he told me he wanted a certain amount of blood. And the nurse said, and he said, "Give it to me or we're gonna lose him." And so then the next thing I remember is the nurse said that blood pressure was, I think, 52/38 and falling fast. And the last thing I remember, well, doctor says we're losing him. And then I went under, and I sensed that I was dead. I
Right.
truly believed I was dead. And I was laying there, and it was kind of like, I don't know if you, on a TV screen, when it pixelates, and all you see is just little squares or snow kind of, except it's in color. That's exactly what I saw. And I said, well, this isn't how it's supposed to go. I said, what's wrong? I said, this is not what I thought was gonna happen.
Right.
And, like that for a good little bit. And then, all of a sudden I was in this field. And this field was flat, had no grass. It was just gray, like just dirt. Only thing I could see is there was this big giant vat. It was like a hexagon shaped, and it was like between motors, and it's sitting there tumbling. Had a big window in it, and it was lighted inside. And somebody was standing next to me, but I never saw. But I knew they were there. In that tumbler was dead bodies. And they would tumble. And every time they would tumble around the window, I'd see this one lady. She had a black blouse and great big glasses on. And watched that for quite a while. And then it goes to the next step. You know, in the same, looks like the same place. Same vat. Except now, it looks like they're kind of as a consistency of, you know when you go into a restaurant and you get Jell-O and it's in cubes?
Say what?
You know when you go to a restaurant and you get Jell-O and they have it cubed up? That's kind of what it looked like. It was tumbling. Just tumbling. And after a while, I went to the next thing. It's still tumbling, but now it looks like it's a slurry. And then I go to the next thing, and now the tumbler's gone, and there's these huge vats out there, and a machine going between them, and it looks like it's spraying that slurry in these vats to kind of, you know, what impression I got was that somebody was showing me how they recycle bodies to reuse.
Huh.
And, you know, I don't know why. You know, my background in manufacturing and plant tours,
Yeah.
I just wondered if that had something to do with it.
It's possible.
But then, the next thing that happened, I was on top of this huge building, huge tall building. And I know it was tall because I could look down and see the clouds.
Oh my.
And there was another building right across from it, had a giant U.S. flag. And it was lighted, I remember that. And remember I was standing right on the edge of it, my feet were about half on and half off. And I was thinking to myself, you know, if I was to fall, I could almost reach that flag, but I really can't quite reach it. It's just out of my reach. And a little bit, I mean, I'm standing there like this, and nobody pushed me, I didn't jump, but I just started falling forward. And I still remember, I said, oh God, I'm dead. Please forgive me from my sins. Take me to heaven. Poof, away we go. I don't know what to make of it, and it's so bizarre that I've told very few people.
Right.